All right, team. We are day one sync challenge. Well, it's not necessarily a challenge, just more like in addition to the 7 day jump start, where you guys rocking and rolling with your exercises for the den, but also too like just to have the um supporting in the 7 days sync for body mechanics. Let me share my screen here. Did I save? Account settings. You don't want to see that. Share this napkin. X. The 7 day sync challenge, the specialist mindset and intention guide. So today is day one of seven, Monday through Friday. I'll be going live with you guys, and also showcasing the 21 build up block for the day one den specialist app. All right. So the foundation today. What's your focus for today? Today I am grounding my focus. I pay attention to the literal connection between my body and the earth, acknowledging that no structure can stand without a stable base. By reestablishing this connection, I am giving my nervous system the safety it needs to unlock true performance. Right. So the ground to brain connection, right? So if we are not aware of our gait cycle, how we walk, how our posture is from the ground up, from our feet inversion or eversion and go collapsing, and also being unaware of this. I was working at the gym, and there is I guess there's chiropractors or physiotherapists, and I was working on. I saw the one I guess one chiropractor, or sorry, one physio and his client, and he was walking in his socks along the hallway. And naturally being a personal trainer for 16 years, I always want to take a look and see, excuse me, and see um, the gait cycle, what's happening at the ankle, because his shoes were off. So most likely he was looking at his ankle stability or lack thereof. And when he was walking, I was taking a look over at him, and I think his left foot was either his ankle was turned out or something along those lines, and it was caving in a little bit. So what that means is his foundation, his connection, there's going to be a leak up the kinetic chain. We talked about the kinetic chain last week, right? So it's having the ground to brain connection, our body's on autopilot. So we're disconnected from the foundation. And for us to reconnect, we have to be grounding, and we have to be aware of our um, ability to move the ankle, to move to the foot in a proper placement, to making sure that we don't disconnect that kinetic chain. Because if my ankle goes out, especially if I'm running, or if I have cave arches or eversion on my ankle, it's going to disrupt my knee, my hip, my low back, and it's going to prevent me from daily activities. Therefore, you may like, oh, I can't run. Like, I'm not, my body's not built for running, right? So that's what we don't want to have. We want to have these uh, little nuances or inability in our ankle to perform in our running, in our, weekend activities, and it will disrupt our daily life. And so we think of, okay, well, if I can't, I have knee issues, so I can't do running because the impact of running on the pavement, or this Vancouver seawall, it is uneven and it's horrible for the ankle, right? You don't want to get into um, but basically, what I'm trying to say is having that foundation. So, in addition to the 7 day jumpstart exercises, and also the workouts that are already provided for you inside the den, we also need the ankle, the next 7 days to go over this, right? So, autopilot, disconnected from the foundation, right? So you want to feel the floor. You want to be, I know I work out in, just because I like the comfort of them, but certain workout shoes in the gym, you need proper for if you are doing deadlifts or squats, they kind of ran the Chuck Taylors, or the flat feet or the flat sole. You don't have a big cushion. I work out with a cushion. your heels elevate. You can put your feet on top plates to get more depth in your range of depth squat. Or perhaps you have tight, or you need to foam roll your calves and hamstrings, and also your glute med or your figure four for the glute. Sorry for the foam rolling. So myofascial release. You also want to have a stable base. So grounding, focus, and connection. So coming from a disconnect, you guys can't see this, but you guys can. Having the disconnected from the foundation, you want to feel the floor. You want to have that stable baseline through the kinetic chain, unlocking movement and performance, and then eventually you become this wonderful, this neon blue butterfly. You guys can't see the butterfly. So radical awareness, so sensing and intentional movement. So when you have the intentional movement of being aware of, okay, how does my squat feel when I go into a depth uh, below parallel, or to a bench squat? How does my knee feel? How do my feet, my foot place in my ankle joint? How does that feel as I perform the squat? Okay, so that's just a little. Let's see here. What we got? That was day one. Yeah. So day one is the foundation. So for the foundation, morning everyone, you want to have. So we also do, like, just like I said, like I wanted to showcase, to highlight our day one den specialist. So here I left the top part blank, the age and the weight. I just wanted to see and test the app itself. And so remember, the app, the brain inside this app is built upon American College of Sports Medicine, and also National Academy of Sports Medicine, and the movement specialist Fighter Fit X on my workouts and design inside built into this. So this is, remember, this is not the main attraction of Fighter Fit X Day One Den. It is a supplement, because that can't be up 24/7. You guys might be in the Ukraine. You guys might be in Brazil. You guys might be in the Cayman Islands, right? So this is just to help out for you to tackle your goals, but with knowing and having confidence in the design of this workout, that it is backed by personal trainers, and what's his name again? His name is Marty Miller, I believe. Anyway, so he's one of the main guys on NASA, National Sports Medicine. So he is the brains behind the design here. So for the foundation on that ankle joint, so you'll see here, so the 3D movement warm up, sagittal, frontal, and horizontal plane. You also want to make sure you're working in all three planes, 3D. Barefoot standing and toe work, barefoot. The tripod foot activation. Your ankle cars. So just like you can have the shoulder at the hip and the ankle, you can go through controlled articular rotations. Cars. You may see hip cars a lot on social media. So controlled articular rotations. So you have the coaching cues, the exercise itself, the breakdown, how to execute the exercise. And remember, this is all built upon a 20-minute block. So controlled weight shifts in the sagittal, frontal, and horizontal. So you want to have another great way too. I had an older client, and we were working on balance. Even though, yeah, Fighter Fit X, Fighter Fit Athletics, we are the brand, or the heart and soul of Fighter Fit Athletics, is to have that conditioning of a fighter, to have the mentality and the fortitude and um, the the passion of a fighter. You don't have to be a MMA fighter. You don't have to be a kickboxing or boxing fighter, a K1 champion. You want to be a fighter in life. So you want to have and build that resiliency inside the gym, so you can be there. So you can be that much stronger outside of the gym, mentally and spiritually, and have the discipline and the habits of a successful champion in K1 or heavy box or MMA. So if you look at those people and look at their daily discipline habits, what do they entail? They entail eating healthy, sticking with a healthy lifestyle, making sure that they drink plenty of water, that their conditioning is top tier. So they are putting in their cardiovascular work in. They are doing their strength training, and they are also doing the basics of ankle controlled articular rotations to make sure that their ankle is supported, and they can do the roundhouse kick, or they can perform a single leg deadlift or single leg RDL. And of course, again, working in the three planes, sagittal, frontal, and horizontal. And then we have the main performance block. This is 5 to 15 minutes in. Short foot activation. We have toe articulation. We have seated soleus calf raises, tri-plantar focus. We have a single leg stance. Oh, sorry, like I was saying, I was working with an older client and he was in his 70s or so, and we couldn't do the high intensity interval training, but what we could do was practicing his balance, his single leg balance, closing his eyes and raising his alternating knee hip extension and focusing on that balance to make sure that he is well aware of his body mechanics when he's walking up a hill or going on small heights with his wife, and to provide this other external stimulus to making sure that on that single leg, when he's reaching contralaterally, so if my left leg knee is up, standing single leg, I can reach my right hand anterior and frontal to make sure that my body and my core stay stable in these positions. Even for football or tackle football or any sort of contact sport, when you are in that single leg, you want to make sure that ankle is fighting for stability. And if there's an external force coming upon the body and the core stabilizers, you want to make sure that it is healthy and that it can handle impact or it can handle being off balance and to reconnect or reestablish that balance. So doing the basic stuff, yeah, it's basic. It's not, ground world shaking or like groundbreaking, new hypothesis. It's baseline basic stuff that we can use every day. And that's what the day one day is, to making sure that we are healthy to go for a high rocks training, to go our pickleball tournaments, to make sure that our low back is fantastic for golf or for the golf swing, and to make sure that our flexibility and the rotator cuff is stable. Yeah, and we have the cool down sequence, single leg stance with head turns, right? Or even closing your eyes. I remember back in the day when we used to do martial arts and we would do our kata. Our kata is just basically a number of sequence of moves, sequentially in order. And we would close our eyes and perform our kata, our attacks, our synchronized movements, and then open our eyes and see where we are on the gym floor or the dojo floor. So just having that proprioception awareness of the body, of where it's going through in movements. So single leg stance with a head turn, single leg stance with arm reaches, with controlled reaches, anterior and lateral. And of course, active plantar fascia release, fascia. So again, like I was mentioning to you with the squat, I was working with a client years ago, and I used to use the bow staff as an external force for foam rolling for my clients. So for my clients, I would do the calf, and also the hamstring. I'll put this is her leg on top of an incline bench. This is her quad. So I would foam roll. Well, I would use the bow staff to get to her fascia release. And it was painful, yes, because all that pain, fascia again is picture this t-shirt. So if I have a knot in my pectoral major or my mid back, and it's a knot, so that knot is really my shirt is fascia. So my fascia and the knot, the blood flow restriction is a result of my wrinkles. So if I foam roll with a tennis ball against the wall or a racquetball, and each time I smooth it out, it is definitely more an iron pressed shirt, but my fascia is nice and flow. The blood flow is good to go, and the oxygen to the muscle that's needed to perform a plyometric push-up clap. Right. So it's having the foam roller to fascia release. So at the end here, from a comfortable seated position, you can use your thumbs and gently and firmly massage the entire sole of your foot, focusing on any areas of tension. You can also stand on a tennis ball or a racquetball. Okay, so that's a 21-minute block for the D1 Den X Performance Specialist. So that's day one. I will copy and paste this into here we are, into the D1 Den school group here. And yeah, so get your ankle and foundation set up for yourself for success. Take a look at the material and do your exercises. That's it for today.